Hey everyone, today I'm going to share with you another spread in my art journal, which I'm doing as part of the Get Messy class. So, even though I'm not following along 100%, this layout did happen to be inspired by one of the prompts in the class. And each week they provide you several prompts based upon an overall theme. And some of them I like and some of them I don't. That's why, if I want to create my art journal, I do, but I'm just feeling really inspired by this class and it's making me actually get um, unafraid and get my stuff out and start working in my art journal. So, one of the prompts was using one of these poems that they had provided, and it, it's an E.e. Cummings poem, and it was about um, like two bodies. And it was like a very romantic, a little bit sexual of a poem. So I don't know. Whenever I thought of it, or whenever I read it, I knew that was the poem that I wanted to use, just because I liked some of the words. I didn't include everything in the poem. I just included like a portion of it. But so whenever I thought of the poem, I just pictured like a lover's embrace. So I went online and I just kind of Googled some different images, and finally I came across one. I knew I wanted to fill the whole page with it. So that was going to be an issue as far as quality was concerned. And also, I couldn't use a horizontal photo, it had to be vertical because I'm picky, and if it had been horizontal, my page would have been turned sideways, and I'm just not ready to embrace that yet. So anyway, so then once I found a photo that I liked, and I converted it to black and white just because I just thought it's got a more artsy feel to it when it's black and white. And I printed it out on vellum. I sized it, or I didn't size it, but um, yeah, I did in Photoshop. I made it close to the size of my book, not quite, as you can tell. I did some trimming, and then it wasn't I trimmed it a little bit too much and it wasn't quite big enough, but I just left a thin border around three of the sides. And as you saw, I just rounded two of those corners, the two outer corners, and I'm just pasting it into my book using a little bit of Mod Podge. And I did, it is a little bit wrinkled. I didn't mind that too much. Um, I mean, that's just what you deal with when you're working with a delicate material like vellum, and then Mod Podge, which is just like thick, and I mean it's an awesome glue. I don't think anything else could have glued this down, and it was transparent. So there were like you can see some like streaks in there, but it's not um glue that would be like you would see squiggles. You know what I mean? So in the end, like I said, I used Mod Podge and it didn't smear the vellum. That's one thing that I worried about was that it was going to soak into the paper and like smear the ink, but luckily it didn't. And so I decided to go ahead and I my favorite pen to use is the Sharpie pen, as you can see there. And so on a scrap piece of that vellum, I'm just testing out kind of my handwriting and the ink, and if, is it going to smear or not. And luckily it wasn't really smearing as long as you let it dry for just a few seconds, maybe up to a minute. So I had the poem on my screen, my computer screen, so I was just looking over and writing it down. And like I said, I did not use the entire poem. I think it's just a partial poem anyway, but it was too sexual at the end for my art journal. I just didn't want to include that. But I just like the sensual part of it where it's just talking about two people's bodies and how they love each other. And I mean, yeah, it's a bit of an intimate poem. And obviously, this is an intimate picture, but that's what your art journal sports to experiment and play in. And I just really like the way this came together. It came together like the vision that I had in my head. And I love that I could write on top of the bodies or the body in the photo and have the poem on top of that. And I just really love that it's black and white. I don't know, it just feels very artsy to me. So that is my art journal page, my second one in my new art journal. So hopefully I will continue on and stay inspired. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And let me know what you thought of this layout. Have a great day, everyone.